Hey guys, Foxdrop here, the video on what to do when you get behind when you're playing in the jungle. Now I get asked this question a crap ton, and for good reason, because it is a bit of a complicated element of the game. But having said that, that's also why I haven't really done any dedicated content covering this footage covering this topic. I can't speak, sorry. Because it's really difficult to cover, because it really depends on how the game is going, on loads of different factors, like in-game factors. It's just really hard to say something which would cover it. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to give you a specific in-game example of how I fell behind and how I managed to get back into the game, and hopefully from this specific example it will help you out. Now the first thing I want to say about when you fall behind in the jungle is that you want to make your decision making or your goals very clear. The first goal is to stop falling even further behind, and the second goal obviously is to try and find ways to claw back into it. Now that may sound very obvious, and it kind of is, but when you think about it that way, you can start to think of specifics about how you can get back into the game and how you can stop falling far behind as well. I'll talk about those in detail as they pop up during the video as well. But this game I was just playing as Lee Sim, and I'm against a Shyvana this game, and my goal with this game, my intentions in this very start here, was to start the red buff, do this, get level 2, and then invade Shyvana at her blue buff, which is why Bard has gone and warded this blue as well for me. Now we can see Shyvana walks up to her wolves. She actually skips her blue, which is not something I'm anticipating. I don't get a massive leash because Bard was warding for me, but here is where I start to fall behind, is where I'm waiting for Shyvana to go to the blue here, but I get pinged out by the wolf spirit. The wolf spirit sees me here, so Shyvana knows I'm coming, so she's not going to fall for my trap. So instead I'll decide to go and do a level 2 gank. Now this is not really the way I want this gank to be going. I would like Bard to be helping to push us out a little bit. Really, we don't want to be in the situation which we're facing now, where there are loads of minions for the enemy team and they're level 2 and my lane's level 1, but still 3v2 should end fairly favourable for us. So I'm just going to go in, focus the Draven first, but once he flashes and runs in minions, there's no point me trying to Q him because I'm not going to reach him. Then I'm going to go for the Thresh. He flashes my Q, but we pick him up and we manage to kill him for the first blood. So that gank was not unsuccessful. It was a decent gank. We got first blood out of it. However, we are 3 minutes 30 into the game and I'm level 2.5. At this point in the game you would be level 3, you should be level 3, and you'd usually be like coming back into your jungle, probably starting your next jungle rotation at this point in the game. But I'm not even level 3 and I'm still in the just recalled, right? So as far as I'm concerned, I'm behind in this game now. The only way that first blood is worth it is the fact that I got some gold, obviously, and the biggest point is that it helps my laner out. My laner's out, the bot lane. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm behind. So now I'm going to have to start trying to catch up. Now the two biggest ways you can get back into this game is by farming the jungle and by getting kills. Now both of those obviously have their different positives and negatives. Positives of getting kills is that it's a very fast way to be getting back into the game. But the negatives is that it's a very risky way as well. If it doesn't work, you're screwed. Farming is more reliable, but it's a lot slower as well. So right here I'm just going to pause and I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking about in this game as well. So Fizz just picked up a kill with bot lane. You can see he's on half health, and I'm going to try and set up a trap for him. This is my goal to help me get back into the game a little bit here, is to set up wards and wait for Fizz so that I can find him and I can fight him and potentially even kill him. That's my goal anyway. But I see Shyvana's doing her blue buff, so I think, oh well, maybe Shyvana's maybe she's a bit low here. I can try to go fight her. And so I'm going to go invade her. Shyvana, she clears very fast, but she doesn't have any sustain, so she often gets kind of low when she's clearing. As you can see here, she's on half health, but sadly, Shyvana is also arguably the strongest duelist in the game. So when she goes for me, she does a metric crap ton of damage to me and almost kills me, in fact. Combine that with the Skirmisher Saber as well. It's a crap ton of damage. Seriously, it hurts. So she beats the crap out of me and I have to recall instantly. So this is the point where I'm really far behind now. Like I said, trying to go for kills, it can be great if it works, but if it doesn't work, my goodness, is it bad. As you can see here, I've pretty much just hit level 3 and I'm almost 6 minutes into the game. That is terrible. Absolutely terrible. I should be hitting this 3 minutes ago. Really terrible. So now I have to make the decision. What am I going to do? Am I going to go for more kills, or am I going to go and farm? I'm going to pause here to tell you which one of those you should be choosing. Now, first thing to say is that it's kind of depending on you as well, what you want to do. If you don't trust yourself to get kills, don't go for them, just farm. If you don't like the slow pace of the farming style, then go and try and get some kills. It also depends on what champion you're playing. If you're playing someone like Lee Sin, for example, this game, going for kills isn't a bad idea because Lee Sin is very good in the early game. But if you're someone like Sejuani and you fall behind early, don't go for kills because Sejuani already sucks at getting kills in the early game. Just farm. Just farm until you hit level 6. Second thing, or the third thing I should say, is it also depends on what your allies are playing. You know, can you gank these lanes, or are these lanes just going to be playing safe, and is there not really too much going down? Because if you're behind, chances are you can't really make too much yourself. You can really just like work with your allies and play off the enemy's mistakes. So you've got to bear that in mind as well. And last thing to bear in mind, of course, is just how the game is going. You know, like who's winning, who's losing lane, that kind of thing. You know, it's not really, if you're behind, don't try gank a losing lane because that's just not going to work. But if you're behind and you try to gank a winning lane, that might work. So, like I said, given the example of Lee Sin, he's good in the early game. So, I decided to go for some more kills. Again, this is risky play, but if it works, then it helps. It helps me get back into the game. So, we jump in, we managed to pick up the Draven. This is really not a good way to be ganking, to be perfectly honest. Like, there's so many minions here. It's always really ugly to gank in loads of minions, especially as Lee Sin, because you want to connect with your Q, and if you miss that, then, you know, that really limits the power you have in a gank, and it's hard to hit Qs in loads of minions. But whatever, that gank works, and it gives me like half a level, which is great. Something else I want to say, excuse me, something else I want to say as well is buy a lot of potions when you're behind. Buy a lot of potions and buy wards. The potions will make it so that you don't have to like continuously recall if you fall low on health, so you can stay in the jungle, you can farm, you can get experience that way to catch back up. And wards allow you to still be useful in an indirect manner, even if you can't directly influence the lanes, because if you've chosen to farm, for example, then you know you can at least help your allies by showing them when they're in trouble by buying wards for them. Now this is the point where I really turned the game around for me, and this is the gold mine of getting back into the game, and it resides in these bad boys here, the minions in lanes. Lane taxing, picking up the lanes is by far and away the best way to be getting back into a game. Why? Because this is just free experience. It doesn't cost you anything. You can take these down with relative ease. They don't punch you back. In theory, you could sit here and do this forever, and you'd be be getting the experience. You'd be getting the gold. There's a reason why junglers work on a limited budget and why solo laners don't. It's because they get access to these juicy minions and junglers don't. Considering Orianna wasn't here either, and Fizz went on that wild goose chase with Rek'Sai, no one was there to stop me doing that, to stop me picking up that CS, which means I managed to get that for myself, and I'm now level 5, which is, you know, it's not great really. For 8.5 minutes into the game, me being level 5 is still bad, but considering how much I screwed myself over in the early game, I'm happy with this. Like, this is good, this is all progress, right? Taking Dragon as well really is not that good for getting back into the game. If you're behind, I actually wouldn't recommend making a play like this. Not only is it risky if someone else comes in because you'll be weak and they'll just be able to steal the dragon from you and kill you, but Dragon itself doesn't give you a lot of experience at all. It gives you like the same amount of experience as the mini chickens do. It's really nothing special, and it's not something to write home about. Something else you really need to bear in mind when you're trying to get back into the game, and really when you're just trying to play League of Legends in general, is that you want to try and capitalize on enemies' mistakes, and you want to be able to keep your eyes on the minimap. Keeping your eyes on the minimap will allow you to see when there are plays to be made and when there aren't. For example, this play here. This was a mistake by Fizz to dive so hard, and he really was just served up on a plate for me, but this is a diamond game, mind you guys. A diamond game. People make mistakes all the time. All you need to do is to keep your eyes peeled and to capitalize on them. So at this point in the game now, I managed to pick up that solo kill on Fizz. I'm now 6.5. I'm level 6.5, and the enemy Shyvana is also level 6.5. She's 000 as well. So I've managed to come back into the game through some fortunate events. I got a kill on Fizz. I got a kill in the bot lane. and I also managed to come back through farming. So I kind of used a lot of different things here. If all of my ganks had failed, I would be in a very sorry spot. And to be honest, I did fail a lot of my plays anyway, just because of that's how I got so far behind anyway. So you can really see the strengths and weaknesses of choosing that playstyle. And if I was playing a different champion, I probably wouldn't be choosing, I'd probably be doing things a bit differently. But anyway, that's all I really want to say for this video. You know, we're 10 minutes in. I've caught back up now, so I'm done with that. That's all done. That's finished. Finally. It's over. My misery is done. I'm no longer a bloody pleb. I can finally kick some people in the face and all that lovely business. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up. You can subscribe to me for more educational league content. Let me know in the comments if you found this video useful, if you'd like to see some other videos of this nature, what other questions you might be having that you want me to cover. More than happy to go over some things for you if I think I can answer them in a worthwhile manner. Also, don't forget, you can find me on Facebook. You can also find me tweeting over on the old Twitter. Find me streaming on Twitch to see some of these plays live. You can all those links, guys, as always, in the description. Go check them out. Most importantly, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you have a wonderful day. I'm sure you will. And I will see you in my next video.